fucking dog shite, and I was like, why did no one fucking tell me? You dumb cunts.
Ryan, it's okay. You sound beautiful as always, right?
I'm just gonna
keep talking, and I'll keep loving you.
Turn some lights off, just so they're not like weird reflection.
Right, you know, on my foot on the Nice. Okay, hello.
Just give me a second. I'm finishing an SBC, and I'll be right with you.
Go.
Can you just put
Go.
on the...
Go.
Did she say hi? Did she say hi?
Wait, is this the episode?
This is Mama Eddie.
Look what you've done!
Look everyone, it's Colin!
Hello.
Oh, God, that's so cute.
Hello!
I'm going to shoot myself.
Can you tell him I'm my lover?
Colin
lives with Edward.
Oh.
Hi!
Hi.
Well, I am recording.
Wait, no, I'm not the right way. I need to move my mum's
So your mum has featured in this episode, Ed.
Amazing.
I know how I can ruin this. Reese is a paedophile. Right, you have to restart now.
No, I
No,
can
just
cut that
cuts
out.
it.
I can just cut that out.
No, you can have a mysterious cut before the start of the
Can you
video.
let me finish this SBC? Like, it literally would take me 2 seconds.
No,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
calm. That's calm. Let me just.
Me, it's Jay. I'm just explaining that I'm not on today's episode because I was in the mud. I was up against the ropes. I was in bed for 2 days. Felt like shit. Hadn't done anything. But this is a good episode, and I just wanted to let you guys know about the sponsor real quick. I'm not wearing this shirt right now, but it's this beautiful shirt right here by the beautiful people at Elite Clothing. Now, they're genuinely comfortable clothing. They're just great people, and I genuinely highly recommend visiting their site. And we've got a code, boys and girls. We've got a code, all right, ladies and gentlemen. The code that you can use for 20% off is WTF Pod EC, capital EC. Use that for 20% off of all items. Yeah, it's sick. They genuinely are sick clothing, and yeah, enjoy the episode. I'll be back next week. Can't wait to watch and see what the guys said about me. In a bit.
When you are ready.
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? Welcome to What the Fuck Happened Last Night. I'm Ed, that's Reese, that's Ryan. And instead of Jay this week, we have me and Reese's old flatmate, the one and only Jack Moss. So, Jack, why don't you introduce yourself to our two listeners?
Before Jack quickly introduces himself, I just got Eddie. I just got a text from your mum.
Christ, I'm gonna fucking shoot myself.
Can you push Colin's nose in? I don't know why. I literally got a text from his mum for that. Right,
So you're gonna put featuring Jack and Ed's mum as well?
Featuring Colin. That's it.
You know what? Your mum said his name's Colin. I got him for Christmas like 4 years ago and I named him Phil. And his name's been Phil for 4 years. Mum has just pulled the name Colin out of her arse here. Like, his name's not Colin.
Jack, please introduce
Glad.
yourself.
I'm getting angry about a fucking plastic toy. Look at this is the fucking extent I've been tripping to. Oh, fuck off.
Either way, I'm Jack, and I'm here to testify about all the things that happened in second year between Ed and Reese.
In that shithousery of a flat.
Mate,
It was a beautiful plan.
mate, Clifton Staircase S top floor. That's where it was at. We had the boys, okay? It was great.
Oh, that
And
was
occasionally a psychotic girl.
You know what story I want to start with that kind of involves most of us.
Is it the Anuska story?
No. It's the
Is it the whole
hot
night?
tub story.
Wait, How does that involve Jack? Oh shit,
does
that
that
doesn't involve
involve
Jack.
me?
No, can we not talk about that? That's no. Jack's got plenty better stories that we
I'm
should
not the
talk
only
about.
one. Oh, you said it involves all of us. I feel left out here. Like,
always.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
we should.
so because I feel left out, I feel like you three should explain it to me.
No, I think we should find something that we can all
I
relate
think
on.
we should
There is
explain
no
it
that
without
story.
any names. Without any names.
No, we don't need to explain the story. I think Jack's got plenty of other things he'd rather talk about today. Isn't that right, Jack?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really confused. I'm trying to think. I've got a hot tub memory in my head somewhere.
Do you remember the hot tub where you then came back to the flat with everyone and I was making burgers?
You were there.
Yes.
It was. So you remember the hot tub next to uni, like those guys that have
Oh
like a house.
yeah, they're just yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that's the story. Anyways, so what's your favorite anecdote of living with Reese and Eddie?
I already don't like where this is going.
It's because I know you've mentioned it before. I'm not sure if you mentioned it before, but just remembering the what were they? The green beers that we had.
Carlsberg.
The Carls. I just can't drink that beer anymore. Not being
Yeah,
funny.
just for the Spotify listeners, I just want to clear this up. The absolute look of disdain and disgust on my face right now, because of the ordeal Reese put us through in that first 2 months of living with him.
I gave you all free beer, to be fair.
Yes, and it was gone off,
Only
and we
because you
had
had too
to
much of a
freeze
pussy
it.
to fucking drink it.
Huh?
Yeah, mate, that is not me being a pussy. That is me having common sense where those two didn't.
To be fair, see, I had even more common sense because one point I can't remember. I know I was
I
with
feel
Ed.
personally attacked by that
I
statement.
know I was with
Yeah,
Ed.
Can I just point out before you elaborate further, for people who don't know Jack or don't know the dynamic of the people in this podcast, Jack is like the loveliest person you will ever meet in your life. Like, he is genuinely the sweetest,
I'm sitting
most
right
lovely
here.
person. And he is not a liability like these cunts. But obviously, he was friends with these cunts and he got dragged around on adventures with these dumb cunts. And that's why it is by far the person with the most common sense, without question.
Jack got dragged.
You say that, but there's a lot. You know what? Instead of Jack telling a story, I'll tell a story.
Oh.
So
Is it?
Jack,
Jack, story
Jack,
of the
right?
fucking
Like,
company.
which
No,
one?
I'm gonna tell the rooftop story.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
So
Can we have some kind of cohesion on an episode with the guest and let the fucking guest finish the story that they started?
I literally I cannot remember it. So all the nights blow into one naturally as they would, just because of the sheer amount of alcohol that was consumed, like within that flat.
It was heaven. I was in my fucking element.
Not of teachers or whatever that bloody paint stripper was. So moving
Thatchers.
back, Thatcher. That was
No, it was teachers.
yeah. So
It
basically,
was really bad whiskey.
So Reese thought for a practical joke, a laugh, to get me and Ed to have a drinking competition. Naturally, you can look at me. For Spotify listeners, I'm quite small, and
How
Ed's
tall are you, Jack?
like 5'4".
Yeah. How tall
You know
are you,
what I
Eddie?
I'm like, you know, for the girls that are listening, 6'3", but you know, for practicality, I'm like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, so there's like
There's a good. I think Jack Eddie is about 3 to 3.5 Jacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best way of putting it. So originally we both started on the same sort of Carlsberg, was it?
yeah.
I cannot.
Yeah,
remember. Yeah,
because
same.
like we were all broke at the time, and that was the only thing we had in abundance, other
so
than
we
like
both
misery.
As if something has changed.
So we both started on it. I was like, "This is disgusting. I can't drink this." Thinking I'm some sort of like classy person, I'm like, "Let's go for shots." So for every beer that like Eddie downed, I did a shot, and I don't know why that was a good idea, to be
And
honest.
that night was the night I came up with Jack. When have I ever led you wrong? For the record, if you don't know me, if I ever say when have I ever led you wrong, you're in for a wild fucking ride. Well, I'm just being honest. Like, you're in for a hell of a time.
No, I think Reese was there as well. Must have been, right?
I was having a great
Well, Reese is always about somehow.
Yeah, just lingering in the
Reese is
background,
there with
watching
his
the
half a
chaos.
pint of Carlsberg egging you on, saying,
Oh,
"Oh
yeah, 3 nights before.
I wasn't
been
drinking,
sipping
I
on
was
it for
just
3
enjoying
socials.
it.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun. I mean, I just remember like just not being a good way, and of course the thing is that the kitchen was like the floor wasn't nice to lay on, but like by the end of the whole sort of game, I don't know if it was a game after like the 5 or 6 shots that we'd gone through. But yeah, I was just laying on the floor, and it was just like, just couldn't.
I mean, I feel like that was a good night. I had a great time.
What do you mean?
Drip. I had a great time.
I mean, to be fair, there are like, so on a scale of being tied to a chair with duct tape and ending up on a rooftop, I feel like it's.
I feel like that's the scale we have to explore.
Right. So which end do we want to go to first?
I say flip a coin. And by flip a coin, I mean rooftop for some reason. Just go with rooftop. We'll start at the rooftop and we'll go down from there.
There you go. Falling from grace?
Yeah, no, there's no such thing as grace when you're on Brunel campus. Unless your name is legally Grace, then maybe.
I mean, would Reese like to tell the story?
Reese is too busy looking at his phone.
No, Reese is quite ready to tell that story.
This is all you, mate. I think this is all
Is
you.
it?
I think this is all you.
So this is where it all blows into one, because I can't actually remember why, like, the events that, like, what day it was, or the events that led up to it.
I think this was the first week, because remember by the 3rd week, the balcony was blocked off from us.
Yeah, so for people, we were living in an unspecified top floor flat.
I mean, I said Clifton at the start of this fucking episode.
Yeah, but for the sakes of this, hypothetical rooftop flat, but they were doing some works on the roof floor, and they just left the door open. And they like left the stairs undone as well, right?
Yeah.
So you could kind of go out, and there were like kind of a balcony. It was more like a maintenance.
It was a maintenance ledge, but for students, a ledge that was so much more than just a maintenance ledge. That was freedom.
Yeah,
that was great.
The ledge of opportunity, as
literally
they often refer to it.
It was absolutely beautiful. The day I discovered that door opened was the day Clifton S became great.
So for some more context of that, I lived in Gordon Hall in first year, which is, in terms of the tall buildings on campus, it's one of the taller ones that is surrounded by smaller ones. And so I had Saltash and Clifton within view of my window and kitchen. I'd often just look out the window and just see people chilling on the roof. And you just have to think to yourself, how the fuck do they get there? And then you remember, oh wait, it's Brunel. No one gives a shit, or nothing is maintained properly.
I mean, honestly, like, for the people that live in like the high-rise flat, I don't want to say high-rise is a push. For the people that live in the tall flats across the way from like Clifton and Saltash, sometimes I can imagine it's sort of like, a rich person looking down at the scummy council estates.
It does feel like Saltash is like the witch. You're in The Witcher, and like the other halls are like you're in Cyberpunk. Like just in difference. I mean, I had a mate who lived in Saltash in first year. I had a lot of friends who did actually, and he had a rat living in his wall, and that was like quite a normal thing. And like people would shit in the shower and leave the shit, like physical poo, in the shower, and that was just like a common occurrence. And he's laughing because that was him.
I mean, no, it's good. I was meant to be in Saltash this year. I'm glad. COVID.
One good thing of COVID.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing, right? Is that like Clifton was in like Brunel. There's like 3 sort of standard accommodations. Saltash is one of them. Clifton is the other one. So
Isn't Mills one of them?
No, Mill's like an ensuite.
You're
Mills
telling me
is nice.
Mill isn't one of the ghetto flats?
No, Mill is one of the nicer ones. It's out of the nicer ones. It's ghetto because it's huge.
So
Mill is one of the nice ones.
Mill
Hey,
used,
the problem with
used to
Mill-
be a bit dodgy.
Oh, Mill got refurbished, right?
Yeah,
And
that's it.
they're now like really nice. But the problem with Mill is that it's like a village because it's literally 4 flat blocks, which would usually be different buildings, all connected into one. So it just you combine so many people that it's bound to be a shit show.
I mean,
And it's like a
you say
fucking
it's
maze.
been refurbished, but the way I think of it is you can polish a shit, but it's still going to be shit.
Yeah, but it was still better than the original shit it was.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like, you know, I'd rather polish shit than like a raw shit. But either way, I've still got shit in my hand, and I'm gonna wash it after.
What?
I mean, Eddie, we know your toilet habits. We won't be surprised.
Oh,
I mean,
Oh,
Jack, finish
here
your
we go.
story, right?
here we go. Right. Oh,
David,
Just-
do you have highlights of sharing? Because you guys shared a bathroom, right? In Brooklyn.
we did more than that.
Oh,
We shared a child called Reese, who we had to babysit.
I was
After
not
he's
the
half a pint of
child
I love
of
the
that.
idea of Jack being like 5'4" and Reese being about like 6'3", 6'4", and Reese being the fucking child.
I wasn't the child of the flat. I would say it was Eddie.
No,
Mate!
Eddie was the liability.
No,
he's
no,
the
Jack-
alcoholic uncle.
Jack can back me on this. Eddie back then was very different to how he is now. He needed a lot of looking after.
You make it out that I was like learning disabled, which I was, but that's not the point, alright? Like,
Sorry. So there's this really funny memory of like getting a call from you, Eddie, being like,
I know where this is going.
"That's like, hi Jack," and I'm like, "Oh hi Ed, are you alright?" It's like, I don't know where I am, and you were like talking quite slowly, so I was like, "Are you alright?" It's like, I'm so high right now. So high. I was like, oh, okay. Do you know where you are? And he's like, by the tall flats. And I was like, tall flats?
Be a bit more precise than that, mate.
And I'm like,
Literally, no, he was in fucking central London by
Mate,
himself.
yeah.
I'm being honest. What happened that night was we all went to get a Toby Carvery, and like I had a little bit on me, so I wanted to you know, broaden my experience at the Toby Carvery, so to speak. So I did that. Then I got back, and they dropped me off at the most weirdest part of campus. This is my memory from the time. It's probably quite corrupted. I might have been outside our flat, but they dropped me at like the most out there side of the campus, and I remember I'm looking around thinking I have no idea where I am, and then I walk for a bit and I get even more lost. So I just thought, who can I trust in this situation? I had a choice of Reese and Jack. So I chose. I mean, you know, I had a choice of Jack.
Jack,
Yeah.
and it's every day we'd have to let him in the flat because he lost his key card every day.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I swear your shoe was like a doorstop. Literally.
yeah. At one point, I was just using my shoe as a doorstop, and the cleaners, you had to go at us for like the first few weeks, and it eventually got to the point where I was just like, you know what, just leave it. Like, they had bigger fish to fry with us, like that mysterious handcuffs that just kept on appearing in the kitchen. Like,
I have, like,
I
the
feel
thing
like we
is,
should
right,
get onto that now.
The thing is I've got like several of, I haven't got them on me, but I've got several of like these as like Polaroids.
I've got them on the wall behind you.
Have you? Well,
Yeah.
so you've got some, I know, but I remember I traded Ed like a
You know what?
a toasty cheese maker for the photos. Hang on.
Carry on with your
Finally,
story, I'll
what's
just get
going
them
on
Yeah.
the podcast. What is it?
The originals.
Yeah.
Some of these are absolutely magical. Alright, ready?
Yeah.
So, you have the original of The Boys, okay?
oh.
That's me, Reese, and Jack. I don't even remember where that was. I don't know when it was. All I know is I woke up in the morning and I had this.
And it's
Right.
probably the most wholesome picture in existence of you.
No,
three,
no,
right?
it gets better. It gets better. There's some.
Wait, are we going to have to blur these?
Do you want me to blur these?
No, are we gonna have to blur these?
I
'Cause,
swear,
like...
I swear you can have topless stuff on.
Yeah, on YouTube doesn't care.
Okay, cool, fair
Yeah,
enough.
oh yeah, context.
Male nipples is
90%
not
of the
bad.
time in the flat, I was not clothed.
They
And
know
eventually
that.
got
They
to the
know
point-
that. They've heard this
Yeah.
every episode. I think we
So-
talk about you being
sometimes
naked
it would
almost
spill
as much as Jake
Jack
talks about
not being
Baldelphine.
clothed. Sometimes it would spill over to Reese and Jack not being clothed. I remember one time
That's
they were
infectious.
outside my door and I just
Yeah.
walked out in my underwear and they just looked shocked. That was like week 3.
It was
Yeah.
confusing.
Alright, let's see some more of these Polaroids.
That's me in the corner, and that's Reese and
That's
Chris.
me in the corner.
This is me
That's
handcuffed
me.
to a cupboard with Jack.
Ah, that
That's
was
hard.
the night.
That's
Sorry,
hard.
throwback. So that was the night that, like, he was doing the Carlsbergs and I was doing the whiskey. Because I was
Oh.
also making. I think I was also making like brownies.
You
can't-
were. You
Yeah,
were.
Yeah, I was
you-
making
you was
brownies, and I was
trying
like,
to-
and I was like off of my like, what's it? Being like, yeah, I think they're all right. Like, yeah, give them 20 minutes.
Yeah, I remember because you was trying to pull, and I remember like he was explaining to us your technique, and I was kind of sitting there like, oh, I need to learn to bake. Like, just yeah. I mean, it
Oh.
worked. It worked.
Jack would always make a cake or something and then bring it around there as an excuse to go to that.
It was brilliant.
Or was it you would invite them over to help make it or something?
No, I just invite them over with it already baked, innit?
Yeah,
They,
like,
and they get two
Matt-
different
yeah.
kinds of cake, you know. Like, you know.
Jack's always got everything ready to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, Jack's prepared. Like, you know how me and Brian we discussing like post-sex surveys, right? Jack would already have it filled out. Like, it would
You know
be,
what?
like,
That- honestly,
great, excellent, brilliant, best Jack I've ever had. Like,
yeah, but Jack already knows that.
potential improvements. Prefer to have a smaller penis. Like, just there you go. Like, just like, you know,
Felt too charismatic. It almost made me feel.
it
If
made
he
me
wasn't
want
so
marriage
welcoming, I
rather
would
than
have felt.
sex.
Yeah. Oh. I mean,
Oh.
seeing as we've got Jack here, and seeing as
Mhm.
it's such a beautiful story, I feel like we have to revisit Paul Night.
No.
All right.
Fuck's sake.
Oh
Someone just
yeah,
walked into
yeah.
Ryan's room.
Right. Hang on.
So,
So-
how do you want to approach this? Because we've discussed this on the podcast previously.
We don't mention names.
Don't.
Okay.
We can't mention
Don't
names.
mention, don't mention
we,
names.
we can mention our names and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's it. So
That's the story.
a
That's
mutual friend of ours, right, was
Made up names. But Frankie and what else is already taken?
Just call her, just call her knee
Frankie and
socks.
Shaniqua.
Just call her knee socks.
Why? No, don't bring
Yeah,
Isaac Monkeys into this.
You can do.
That's so Eddie. That's a bit weird. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
People have names, not like me. So.
Look, I'm just going with me and Jack came up with a theory about how people show like sexual what they're into through their clothing in modern society. We was ready to write a whole paper on it, and it was
I
just
would totally have read that if you guys had written.
Eddie, weren't you a virgin at the point of coming to this consensus?
yeah,
oh that
mate. Look, it's a skill of mine. I don't need to have to sleep with a girl to know she's into weird shit. You can just tell by the socks.
Fair enough. Alright, Jack, back to your story, mate. Back to
yeah.
your story.
So mutual friend of mine, Reese and Eddie's, was performing a pole night, as you do, and we all sort of so Reese was working at the bar, right? And I was a bit like that. So there was somebody there who I was talking to, and of course you don't just rock up to a pole night on your own. A bit weird. So
I mean, a lot of people chose to, and all the power
to
to
be
them.
fair, yeah, no,
Especially if they had been less creepy, I would have definitely said all power to them.
yeah. So of course, so for me myself anyway, I felt a bit weird going on my own. So I brought in the cavalry. I brought in Eddie.
The 6'1", 6'3" gorilla. that had chugged an entire bowl of vodka beforehand.
Oh, I'm so glad I was drunk. That night would have been on, like, it would have been so weird if I was sober. Oh, the amount of dodgy people that, like, I'd never seen on campus before that would just stood by themselves, like, saying weird shit. Like, no offense, all power to you, do what you want to enjoy, but don't be creepy about it.
Yeah, especially that guy who just got his dick out halfway through.
Right.
Eddie, stop
Anyway,
thinking about
let
yourself like
Jack carry on. Let Jack carry on.
I don't remember that part, but okay.
Well, that might have been me.
I think it was.
Anyway,
Carry on.
Swear, that was the entire point of you getting drunk, Eddie.
Yeah.
That was the entire point. So that you wouldn't, like, pop a boner when you were looking at them.
No, I got drunk because I was a functioning alcoholic and I needed an
it's so
excuse.
dodgy. Please don't tell me that was why you got drunk. I beg you.
No, that might have been the excuse I gave to Reese and Jack so they didn't think I was an alcoholic. But in reality, it was just...
Yes,
I
because
need-
that's what's going to change their lifelong opinion on you.
I mean, look, at the time, you know, we had just moved in. Like, I was like, you know, I cared about their opinion of me. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Things went downhill really quickly.
Yes,
Was I talking to Shrek or Terminal at this point?
I feel like you skipped a couple steps in the story there. Eddie.
I think this is the bit where you were just single.
Alright, cool. Carry on, Jack.
Sorry, I'm just, of course, so I know who, I'm trying to figure out who these people are in my head, and I'm like, okay,
Oh.
how did we come to these names, but fair enough. But yeah, aside from that, so, naturally, I was a bit drunk, and Eddie was gone.
More than a bit.
Left the building, nobody's there, and so naturally, like, as the night went on, I started dancing with, like, the person who I was talking to at the time.
Damn right you
quite
did.
sweet.
It was the sweetest thing ever. Because everyone knew that there was, like, a thing, but, like, that both of them were, like, the most innocent people you'll ever meet. Like, Christian society chair kind of innocent, right? And so when they started dancing, everyone, like, didn't want to make a big deal about it, but everyone knew it was a big deal. But also, we were all fucked. And, like, so I didn't go with these guys. I went with some of my musical theatre friends, because one of our musical theatre friends was performing, and some cheer people were performing. And so, like, these guys were surprised to be there for me, which was lovely. And I don't really remember what I did for most of the night, because I was sloshed. Until I remember gaining memory when I was on a pool with my shirt open. That's when I start remembering stuff again. Because they closed the bar for like 20 minutes then. Anyways, so everyone in the club area was like trying not to make a big deal out of Jack and this person dancing. But like we were all sloshed, so we were so obnoxious about it. Like there's no being obnoxious. And then?
Yeah, and then it's so I don't really like, because I just remember dancing. That's all I remember doing, and then like and then I'm trying to think. Hang on. Yeah, it's just a and I think we tried to kiss, but it was just a bit awkward at that point.
It was awkward because everyone was like encouraging you to, being like, we're not making a big deal out of it, but we totally were, and it was so obnoxious.
I don't even remember this one. I know Reese was the ringleader of this.
Oh, Reese was behind the bar.
I was working.
Yeah, but he was, every time someone went to get drinks that he somewhat knew or had spoken to more than once, he was like, make sure you help Jack if you can. Make sure you're like on Jack's side. Just do what you can to help Jack.
I'm just trying to help my boy out.
I can't hear you, man. Your mic's gone.
What? No, it's not.
Oh, no. Can you hear him?
I could hear him when he said what. It's not.
Yeah, you can hear me, right?
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Thank you, Reese. I just needed to hear that beautiful voice.
No, I honestly didn't do anything. I told one of my co-workers a story, and we would, because basically what happened is, I think nobody wanted to be there sober. Like,
Oh,
so
not because it wasn't a good show because it was an incredible
Yeah,
show.
no,
Like,
just
Yeah.
obviously, I didn't know what to expect, but it was incredible. But it was just a strange atmosphere, and it was a weird combination of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And it was like it was in the nightclub on campus, but it wasn't full. So like you could see everyone's face easily, like by doing 1 360 and like count the
Yeah.
people. But it was still like a reasonable amount. It was weird. It was just a strange.
What happened because of that is we had like massive queues at the very, very start of the night. Everyone got absolutely shit-faced, and then we didn't
miss
have
getting
any
drunk so
customers
much.
other than for water most of the night.
Except
So-
for some stupid alcoholics who kept.
yeah,
Mate, I
such
don't know.
a brand.
I don't know how many Jaeger bombs I had that night. I don't think I got to sleep until like 7 a.m.
So,
Not because I was like at an after party or anything, but literally because I had so much Red Bull.
Ryan, this is kind of off topic, but are you on my team for the pub crawl?
I think I'm with Reese, right?
yeah.
So it's basically
I'm on
me,
your
me
team for the
versus
calorie
you.
challenge. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Nice.
me versus you, and then it's going to be a matter of.
It's going to be a
Who
matter of
fucks
who
who?
drinks the most out of me and you, and who
And then-
doesn't lose out of Reese
And then
and
who
Joe.
doesn't give up out of Reese and Jay?
Right.
Because as soon as one of them gives up, then that's just an L for that team.
I'll beat Jay. I'll
So,
beat Jay.
Jack, you know all
Yeah.
three of us. Who do you think's going to drink the most out of me and Ryan?
I don't think Jack's seen me drink.
No,
that
to
much.
be
He's seen me
fair,
drunk.
yeah. Mm.
He's not seen me drink. Because the thing is, Jack is that lovely person that I bump into on nights out, and I just get so excited about. And then we like have that moment of, yo,
Yeah.
how's it going? We go to the
Yeah.
bar, have a shot, and then we don't see each other for like 2 hours,
Mm.
and then end up at the same after party, or like
Yeah.
walking the same way home, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to lie.
I think
The
there was
first
one night where we went to, like, I went to 3 different like after things, and you were at the first one. And I didn't stay at the second one for very long, and then I went to the third one, and you were there as well. I don't remember when, and I don't remember who it was, but I just remember seeing you twice in like one night in like the most random circumstances.
Yeah. No.
I feel like, oh. But anyways, what
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
with that certain someone that you danced with that night?
So, I feel a bit embarrassed, not gonna lie, but it's quite.
Get used to it. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, I'm still with them. For going on a year now, actually, as it goes.
Yeah, it should be actually. I honestly, I would feel so much worse about what everyone did that night if you were in the situation you are now with that person. It is the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
Like it was like a power couple on campus. Everyone knows it and ships it and is so happy it's happening.
But no, I just remember like so we sort of like went to the local so we had like a 24-hour caf on campus. Yeah, which was
Right.
open. And we just went there, and like it just like it's weird because it just like clicked, and we didn't quite realize just how much it had, and it was just like, yeah, this is just what's happening. And then we walked home, and of course, like we sort of had a sort of a moment together alone, and then I remember just like coming back to the flat and being like, and I remember I remember Reese being up because he'd like just come back from sort of finishing up. It was like, have you and he was like, oh, have you kissed her? I was like, yes.
I
was
wasn't
like-
there, but it must have been like one of those like scenes in the movie where it goes
Yeah.
into slow motion. It's like
Yeah.
you jump in the air,
Yeah.
everyone's
I
cheering.
imagine
I
it
think it
started
must have felt like
raining
that.
and everything, and they had like an
Yeah.
umbrella, and it was just one of those like
Yeah.
old school movie scenes.
Mm,
Can I just
yeah.
put a warning? This is by far the most wholesome story you will ever hear on this podcast. Nothing else has ever come anywhere near that. Everything else is just a shit show. Like this
All
is the only
downhill
thing
from here,
I know,
boys. It's all
because
downhill from here.
that's the only wholesome shit.
Yeah, because I think there's even a photo of me that I've got of me just lying on the floor that's not drunk in my coat because I was just like that excited. I think.
Oh, love, that's
So I
so
was
sweet.
like, yeah. So that was like the sort of night, and then like there were a couple other like, so that was just before the end of first term. So I think there were like a few more parties, and then like
It became
was-
a thing.
Yeah, basically over.
Was it a few more parties, or was it a few more karaoke's where you went together and sat together?
It was karaoke's. It was 100%.
Yeah,
Because I remember a lot of karaoke's
Hmm.
where you were at the table with your mates, but it was really like I felt really bad in a way because it was like the sweetest thing, and everyone was so happy for it. But then your mates were kind of like, I feel like those
Ryan.
friend groups that were joining
Hang on.
that don't usually hang out together, and those were the glue of those friend groups, and you guys were kind of like what brought those two friend groups together. And then when you guys had your like initial moment, which happens in every kind of relationship, everyone else is just like, yeah, what do we do now? But you know what? It meant that they all got really drunk, and I got to do loads of shots with all of them in karaoke. So. And I feel like you're saying that there was drama there that I'm not aware of.
No.
No?
So you cut
Right, okay.
out, and now you're like everything you've said has been catching up to you. So you've just been talking. Really
God. Super sorry, Alright, now let's move on to some less wholesome stories.
I feel
before we
like we
do-
should move on to the downstairs flat.
Oh,
Got
Yeah.
a feud with the flat below.
Yeah, I think that's quite a funny story.
Yeah, because there's like other stories that sort of intersect with that.
The Chronicles of Staircase S.
So what was the first? So what was our first like?
I don't.
Reese-
You.
Okay, I can tell this story. Reese was trying to bang a girl from 2 floors below us. All right. Alright, I'm not gonna put it subtly. I'm not gonna beat around the bush.
I wasn't, because that's why all the beef happened.
I'm gonna put it this way: there was a fit girl 2 floors below us, and Reese was in for a fucking treat. All right. Now, what happened was one night Reese managed to set it up so we all go down there and have a drink. And like he made me, Jack, was it Zach, tag along?
Yeah.
Yeah. So me,
Wait,
Jack,
Zach.
huh?
Which Zach? Bard?
Me, Jack.
Oh no, I said Zach. Which Zach?
Zach Omar.
Oh, I don't think that.
Yeah, but I don't think so. He was quite quiet.
I don't think so.
He was an ideal neighbour because, you know, he never. I had 2
What
great
course is he
neighbours.
on?
Huh?
What course is he on? Do you know?
I have honestly no idea. All I know is that he cooked a lot of fit chips and like pasta. That was about it. Anyway, so me, Jack, Reese, and Zach go down there. Zach's there, I think, because he's on the same course as one of the girls there. And like, you know, basically we all just sit in there. I feel uncomfortable. Eventually, I decide I have a thing for the girl with the Welsh accent, and like that happened.
Whoa. I'm sorry, Eddie. I've heard about lows, but that's a new low.
What? Mate, you know, the Welsh accent, when applied correctly, is still fucking tragic. I can't even fucking pretend. But yeah, so that happened, and then, like, I don't know, we somehow ended up becoming a dysfunctional friendship group with the flat 2 floors below. I think mainly
I feel like
because
there's
Reese
very
was...
few people who haven't ended up becoming a dysfunctional family.
No,
with
but
a
like
flat
we
in
was
their
dysfunctional
building.
simply because Reese was desperately trying to get me to have sex with this Welsh girl. And like
As Reese does.
I think
All Reese
Jack
does
was
is
trying
find
to.
friends and try to get them to get us like sleep with someone.
Well, no, it was just really funny because Jack liked one of them at the time, and so I was just like, "Oh, this is." Really
Did
funny.
Jack like Anuska though? Because I feel like we all just pressured Jack into liking Anuska.
I feel like with you guys, that's definitely likely to be the case.
Like, I
You
don't
said no
actually
names,
think any
you
of us
said
really
no
liked
names.
Anuska. I think it was just that she
Eddie,
was
we
there.
said no names.
I don't give a shit. She calls me so. She tried to stab us, Reese. So we're really giving her the fucking like satisfaction of not getting her name brought up.
Okay.
She tried to stab us.
Ryan, in my defense, at the time, Eddie was a virgin, and this is the first girl all year he had shown any interest to. So we were all kind of very excited.
No, it wasn't even that I had shown any interest to. We got back to the kitchen, and you basically point blank said, "Ed, which one do you want to shag?" And I've gone none. And then you've gone, "Ed, you're not leaving this kitchen until you pick one of them." And I thought, okay, so the fit one obviously wanted to fuck Reese, so I'm not going to go there. Also, she seemed like she would be a handful, which she turned out to be. Then, like, I thought,
Isn't that handful what you? I'm not gonna say it.
no, don't even go there. Anuska, no.
Right.
I'm not going to justify it. The guy in the room, I'm not gay. I'm not going there. And then so there was only one left, and I kind of thought she was kind of funny. So, you know, I was forced to make a
But the
choice
thing
between.
is, Reese is such a inherent fuckboy at heart. Of he just doesn't understand that some people don't walk into a room and pick who they want to sleep with. And there's he doesn't understand that sometimes you're not in a room with someone who wants to sleep with you. For him, obviously,
I've
that's
never
always
been
the
in that
case.
situation.
For other people, that's really that's more of a miracle than anything else. And he can't get that through his pea brain.
But I think it was more like Reese was just trying to be a good friend and help me out of a 21-year rut. So I'm not judging him for it. And ultimately, I learned of the 3 terrible, terrible things that happened to me with women last year. Each one of them taught me a lesson. First one, don't date short girls. Number 2, don't date girls that aren't close to you. And 3. If she's got blue hair and a nose piercing, she ain't the one. I'm so sorry, Alice. Alright, and
right. So that's the backstory.
Can I just reiterate on another episode that the views of the people on this podcast are not always shared with everyone else on this podcast, and do not associate.
Yeah, these aren't actually my views. Reese will be able to
specifically Eddie's views and statements.
I just want to clear this up also. That isn't my view. Reese will be able to attest very quickly that, I'm not going to go there, but Reese knows my type, and if he wants to elaborate on this, he is more than welcome to.
I think the podcast knows your type at this point.
Everyone knows my fucking type. Just girls with problems.
Anyway, right, Jack, so that's the backstory. Jack, what happened after that? What was the next stage of this feud?
I can't remember. So the one thing that sticks out to me is is us doing a nice little bit of cleaning, right? So we had some beef with the cleaners. We thought, let's be nice.
Some beef.
Let's be
some
nice.
beef.
Let's tidy
halal.
Let's tidy the kitchen. Make it nice for them. You know what I mean? Be
Yeah.
really nice. Be gents. So we tried to do that.
That was 100% your idea, and I have no doubt about it.
I think it was mine and Jack's idea.
No, it was definitely Jack's idea.
You did it every week, but let's face it, Reese probably would have done it. I think it was mine and Jack's idea.
But the thing is, what cleaning is to you, Reese, isn't the same thing as what clean is.
No, I was actually really good. I will back myself in. I was really good. I would stay up till 3 a.m. cleaning this shit.
I'm not gonna lie, the Tuesday cleaning sessions for it was always us 3. Occasionally it would be Chris, occasionally it would be Zach. But it was always us 3, and that was like therapy. I mean, for me it was. I can't really say whether it was like that for Jack and Reese, but for me it was yeah.
I love you to death, Eddie, but you need way more serious therapy than cleaning a hitch.
Okay, so Jack, carry on with the story.
So we were cleaning up. Then we thought, we've got a clean table. Let's play some cards. So I think, what was it? I think I was like, have you guys played?
Oh yeah, I remember that. But no, this is after. This was like the night that it all kicked off.
No,
because we went to
I swear it wasn't.
No, it was because I remember it's on my Snapchat memories. We went to Attic before this point. Something or other happened, and we had a falling out with them. I don't even remember what it was. Reese is off doing his own thing with this girl who, I'm not going there. It was its own chronicle.
I mean, he did.
Me and Jack are leading very wholesome attempts to. Me and Jack are leading very wholesome, lives at this point. Reese is just being a fucking degenerate.
Attempts, because there's a difference.
Huh?
Were you leading wholesome lives or wholesome attempts?
Wholesome attempts.
Okay, what would you describe as a wholesome attempt?
I wanted a relationship, not just a bang bang bust.
Yeah, but how did you go about approaching that?
I was trying to be polite and nice, everything that I'm not now. And I don't really know what Jack was doing. I didn't really interrupt in other people's relationships, unlike certain people in this chat. What happened was...
Sorry, I've just got a thing in my throat. It's not COVID, I've been tested again today.
So yeah, me and Jack were leading very wholesome attempts. Meanwhile, Reese is just battling with this girl. I'm going to put it this way. There was a love-hate relationship. She loved him and he hated her. And so yeah, we ended up in an argument with a flat below, and then the night they all kicked off is what Jack's describing now. So
okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. So we played Go Fish, I think.
Oh, what a banger!
I think Ed and Reese hadn't played Go Fish before. And they were
I
like,
played
"What is
Go Fish.
that?" Wait, was it Go? I can't remember.
I think it might have been something like Chase the 8. I don't know.
It was a game that like
It was a game that involved a pack of cards.
Yeah, and I won the first game. I was smiling. I was happy. Yeah. So they thought, oh, he's getting a bit too cocky. So they decided to get some duct tape, hold me to a chair, and tape me down.
When he says get some duct tape, we used an entire reel of duct tape. We fully duct taped Jack to a chair.
Which one of you in the flat had an entire brand new roll of big duct tape laying around, and why? Because if that's not the kinkiest shit I've ever heard.
I think it was Achilles.
It was me.
I mean, to be fair, that's like the least kinkiest thing in this story at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, please go on, man.
So
I might have to turn my camera off for this one.
So he so I think someone puts it on like Snapchat or something.
Race. Yeah, it would have been Race.
Yeah, I've seen
One of the girls.
It's amazing.
One of the girls from downstairs comes up to rescue me,
Yeah, I remember that.
and I'm a bit like, this is the one that that apparently I was caught in.
Okay,
I'm not sure. But then I was a bit like, oh, okay. And she was like banging on our door to be like, let us in. And someone let her in. And
no, like when you say banging on our door, she was like banging for a good hour. Like we was fucking with her after a certain point. And I think what eventually happened was someone who wasn't in on the joke let her in. I think it was Cruple. Like, let her in. And, like, what happened then, we're all rushing to lock her in on the other side of the flat. I don't know, at some point I ended up locked in the pantry.
Oh, no. So I get put in the pantry and locked in
For
protection.
No, it was so that she didn't release you from the chair.
She then, like, gets into the pantry with a knife and just starts trying to cut open the duct tape. You know, props for like trying that. You know,
10 out of 10 effort.
there you go.
Right,
Execution.
Quickly to
Not so
interject,
much.
can we appreciate how much of a little pussy Ed is, right? So
Well,
Ed, Chris and Zach all hide in their rooms when this is going on, when she has the knife. I'm still there carrying on with the joke, like trying to
Sorry,
hold her
not
on.
everyone wants to get stabbed.
no. I ran into my room because she had a knife, and then I came out promptly after, and I went into the pantry with Jack to protect Jack, and then she went into my room, and that's why I left the pantry, and she got into the pantry.
To be fair, she did hold me at knife
Sorry,
point.
Eddie, but the idea of a woman waiting in your room with a knife sounds way too attractive.
She
to me,
wasn't
surely.
even waiting in my room with a knife. Do you know what she did? She got hold of my notes and like got a black marker and just went over everything. She
Oh, that's
single-handedly
toxic.
destroyed 2 days worth of notes.
That's
And
actually awful.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Well, I don't think I've
reckon
ever
even
told Jack
Hitler
already
would
that
have
because I was
the
that
manners to do it.
embarrassed.
I didn't realise that. Oh.
I didn't know that. Alright, Jack, sorry,
Fuck.
please go on.
Yeah, so stuck in a pantry, which is basically like
As you do.
a small room with fridges and cupboards, with this girl with a knife, trying to. She's also a bit drunk. From what I could tell.
A bit.
I think she was a lightweight, so you know, like a bit like.
He's
a
being
bit drunk.
respectful. You forget that Jack's a gentleman just because you're a fucking liability.
Wow. Okay.
I appreciate this backup. Thank you.
Hey, Jack, the things I would do to back you up.
But so I can't remember what happens then. But then like
So it's how convenient that you don't remember the one bit where you're locked in this cupboard with this girl, And no one
I was tied.
I remember Zach ended up leaving the flat, and we locked Zach out the flat.
So you were
Wait,
tied to the chair, unable to move, alone with this girl with a knife. I swear I've seen that film.
No,
So-
she locked her and him in the pantry. We were
Yeah.
stood outside and couldn't get in.
So we were stood outside, and what happened was our flatmate Zach left the flat for like 5 seconds to see whether any of the others were coming up. And me and Reese, naturally being the great flatmates, we locked Zach out. And like, when I say locked out, like, he was locked out for a good 3 hours. Like, he was just standing there getting progressively more and more pissed off. And like, he wasn't even angry we locked him out. I think he was more angry that we fucked with his chair that was in his room.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'm just still here vibing, tied to a chair.
Go with the knife.
You know, as you do. I think I get like let go at some point.
And can I just ask, because it is the What the Fuck Happened Last Night podcast, honest to God, were at any point during from you being tied to the chair to you being released, was there any point where you were just a little bit turned on and thought, oh, maybe we're onto something here? You've got to be honest. There's no shame.
No.
This
Okay,
is where we
that's
left.
not-
This is where
because
we
I feel like
left the
that
check.
could have been a beautiful story of like a moment of realization for you, where you're like, you know what, this is not all that bad.
Oh yeah, because best place to find a kink is like in the most dangerous.
Exposure therapy.
That was not therapy, like anything close to what I would consider therapy, but
And
Just- you know, each their own, Eddie. Each their own.
so Zach gets kicked out of the flat. At some point, Claudia gets let into the flat. And Reese locks into.
Saying names. With him saying names.
I don't care. That flat ruined my life. Alright, so Claudia gets let into the flat, and Reese, in reaction, I'll say, locks himself in his room.
Yeah.
And like, I'm exploring, trying
So
to.
can we just flash back to like 5 minutes ago when Reese was calling out Jack and Eddie for going and hiding in their rooms? All right, continue.
Like, you know, like I'm exploring the flat because it's absolute mayhem. And at one point, our flat was laid out like this: you had one hallway here, you had another hallway here, and at the end you had a kitchen. Right, so it was essentially 2 flats with a shared kitchen. So I'm in the other flat where Reese's room is. I'm fucking with Zach. I'm going to the other side of the door, so I open it for 4 seconds, then closing it just before he gets in. And I just see Claudia. I have no idea how she got into this day. Just beating down Reese's door, like she was trying to get in, and like I just walked past thinking I'm not involved. I don't want to be involved here. And she goes, "Where's Reese?" And I've gone, huh? Like I was legitimately scared. She had like murderous eyes. I don't know what she wanted to do with you, Reese, but you know I feel like yeah.
No, Eddie's just like, I don't know what she wanted to do with you, Reese, but I'm kind of jealous. She had like the looks of to kill. I like murder in her eyes, and that's kind of his thing.
I think at some point Claudia goes downstairs, at which point I don't really know what's happened to Jack at this point.
No, she didn't. You, I'm sure Jack will fill this in, but you ended up with Jack somehow downstairs.
Yeah, that's it. And with Ed's handcuffs, as one does. Oh, that was it. So
Yeah.
I think everything sort of calms down. We're like,
No,
do you not think it'd be really...
it doesn't. The 2 girls are banging on my door at this point. You
Yeah.
live somewhere else.
Okay. For me, anyway.
I was
I
I was messaging our group chat crying for help. I was like, someone save me.
So Reese has got me and Jack into a fair bit of shit at this point in the year. So me and Jack fought, revenge.
It's about
Me
time,
and-
karma.
Yeah, so me and him go downstairs to where the girls flatted with the handcuffs. I don't know why. We were drunk.
No, it was a joke because they were like, oh, it would be really funny if like I was like handcuffed to the door.
So I handcuffed
And they
you
were
to the
like-
thing.
And they're like, I don't know, I've got here.
So this is where my point of Jack having the most common sense of these guys has the little asterisk. It's because he's a logical guy, and he's smart, and he's intelligent, and he's genuinely awesome. But he does have his moments where he is
Yeah.
just so lenient to do things, and he just goes along with things that he really shouldn't with sometimes, and it gets him into the best situations because it's Jack, and nothing bad ever should happen to someone as beautiful as Jack.
I had a key though, so like it was all safe.
Sometimes Jack thinks entirely logically. Like, sometimes Jack is logical, and sometimes Jack just epitomises the phrase "do it for the vine," and it's just absolutely
the thing
brilliant.
is, when you're Jack, no one is ever going to do anything bad to you because that would be truly evil.
I'm keeping quiet here.
I mean, Ed and Reese would say otherwise, but you know that's just
No, we were great to you,
That's my
Jack.
point. Truly evil.
But me and Jack end up downstairs. We end up talking to a Welsh girl. I'm not going to name drop her, but she was actually nice. And like, you know, we end up talking to her for a good while. Then what
That's
happens
where
is...
Eddie's treating this podcast name dropping like the fucking like OneNote, where like he only mentions names of people that he wants there.
No, it's Death Note. OneNote is the Microsoft
sorry, Death Note,
program.
I'm sorry.
You're thinking of Death Note.
Speaking of Death Note, absolutely.
I mean, in a way, they're the same thing, except with OneNote, if you write a file, it just disappears rather than the person. Like, anyway, so what happened was we hear the security open the door. I quickly unhandcuff Jack from the thing, and then the security goes, "Oh, we've had a noise complaint." I'm hiding the handcuffs behind me like that. Not bait at all, may I add. What? And then we go, "Oh, we're in this flat." The noise is coming from the flat upstairs. So they quickly do a once over of that flat. I quickly come sprinting upstairs and go to the girls. Look, I don't know what this is, but you fucking Reese is gonna have to wait because security's on its way. They lock themselves in the shower, and they were so quiet. It was fucking Oscar worthy. Reese still hasn't left his room now. He's been in there for a good few hours.
So one of these girls happened to have my phone, and
why didn't she have your phone? I still don't know.
I don't know. But somehow, right? Don't know how, made a Snapchat account
On your phone?
on my phone. Yeah, so there's just
They had your phone unlocked.
I don't know how. Not gonna lie. They just had my phone unlocked, and they made a Snapchat account, and I think they used it to send a snap to somebody. Say
They made a brand new Snapchat account.
yeah,
You know what?
Because they were locked in the shower.
yeah.
And okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Just for shit, for giggles.
That's so alright.
Of all of the things you could do with your mate's phone,
Now, to be
Yep.
fair, Jack is the most innocent person in the world. All he's gonna have is the answers to the math quiz that he was sending everyone because he's a fucking legend.
Yeah, because that's all I keep on my Snapchat story.
I'm joking.
oh man.
No.
But they have Jack's phone, and they lock themselves in the shower. The security leave, and
No, the security don't leave. Everyone else gets away scot-free. They knock on my door. I then look through the peephole and I'm like, oh, this is a different knock. It's fucking security. So I open it and they're like, oh, we've had a noise complaint. I'm like, oh, I've been asleep, mate. I don't know what you mean. And then eventually they leave after searching around my room and the flat. I was like, okay, sweet.
and then the girls are still in the shower this entire fucking time. Eventually gets to the point where everything's calmed down. We're like, we're all considering going to bed, and I think one of us goes, "Are the girls still in the flat?" And we quickly just do a once over, and we notice one of the shower doors is locked, and we sort of force open the shower door with a screwdriver, and just discover these two girls in the shower. And I don't even know how we convinced them to leave.
Eddie, I'll give you a chance to go back and rephrase that. Because we don't need a clip of you saying we forced the door open with a screwdriver and find these two girls in the shower. That can't be something that can be clipped when you say.
I will rephrase it. We used a screwdriver to force open the shower door, which we thought was empty, which the two girls shouldn't have been in. Okay, they were hiding there from the security.
With their clothes on.
It's with their clothes on. Is that any better?
Slightly, yeah.
And I don't fully remember how we got them to leave. I think I have memories
Didn't
of
you
being
trade Reese's, a shirtless pic of Reese or something?
I think Jack used. I mean, so in the flat,
I
you
was
would meet
hiding
if we
in my
was.
room again.
if we was to describe the flat using different like roles, I would be what you refer to as the wild card. Reese is like, you know, the rogue, and Jack is the diplomat. So when we need a situation solved with words, we would use Jack.
Oh,
So I
obviously.
It's true.
Because Jack knows. Alright, I'm sorry. Jack has used more words between his birth and the age of 3 than you guys know combined. And that is.
I get a lot of shit from you. Like, I'm not that dumb. Right? Just
Wait. Ryan is fan bare shit, yeah? We could easily bring up the hot tub story. We
What hot
could
tub
easily
story?
go into this. We could easily.
Ding.
Me and Jack combined could finish Ryan right now.
So how did you get the girls to leave?
I don't remember. I think I was just a mixture of tired, drunk, and I don't think I was the third one. Yeah, but one way or another, the girls left, and we all went to sleep, and we lived happily ever after for about 2 weeks, and then randomly they wanted to have a meeting.
Oh, they wanted a meeting. I remember that. There's...
So they wanted to have like a meeting to bury the hatchet. So I'm like, this was like the last time we fully spoke to them. And like, oh god, the mind games we were playing were fucking beautiful. We were like, okay, meet us outside the flat in like 35 minutes. We was using really specific times. And we went outside the flat, and I think I went, you know, it'd be funny if we went up to the front of campus and just told them to come there. And then what happened was, they left the flat. I think they called Reese, like, where the fuck are you? And like, we've gone, alright, meet us by Saltash in like 15 minutes. And then we did that for, I think, it was like half an hour. It eventually got to the point where I had ordered a kebab. As I did, that's one of many things I did at the time. And like, I was just waiting for my kebab at the front of campus. And like, the 3 girls arrive. They are pissed. They are angry. And like, yeah, and then I'm just sitting there like waiting for the kebab, and like we pass it on to Jack. We go, Jack, can you please be the diplomatic one here? And yeah, so Jack, what happened?
So it's a bit mad because it's a bit like some Sonic Heroes action. Like we've got our own 3 combo. They've got their own 3.
We had Zach as well. Because it was you and Zach talking to them. It was me and Eddie stood at the curb waiting for his kebab.
Yeah, every so often what would happen is we would just go, I wouldn't have that if I were you. Or like, what was the other one? We just kept on just like shit stirring for no reason.
Yeah.
For no reason. This is for the pure reason that you're Eddie and Reese.
Yeah, like Jack's desperately trying to be diplomatic here, and every so often I would just go, well, you're a dumbass. Like, just something really fucking piss them off. Oh, man. So, yeah.
Carry on, Jack. Carry on.
I think he's muted.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! All right.
That's
And then we ended up just negotiating. I don't know what we.
I don't even know what it was. I think. So I think one of them had to buy sleeping pills for one of their flatmates, and they wanted us to pay.
What? I'm
Yeah.
so confused by these people.
They were really weird.
But yeah, either way, got it all negotiated.
So welcome back. We're gonna greet everyone back with this one. Okay, so I thought of this. Well, I saw it on TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, but I thought it would be quite a good question to ask. Because I think Jay would be quite a good person to speak to this about. But actually, I think that Jack Moss gives us a more varied perspective. So the scenario is you get to fight Mike Tyson, right? And it's televised and it's on TV, and you get to pick how old he is. And whatever age he is, you get that many $1 million. So if you fight him at 3 years old, you get $3 million, and it's on TV. What age do you fight him at? I think he started training boxing when he was like 13 or whatever. The floor's all yours, people.
How old is he now?
He's like 50s or something, right?
I'll pick
40,
100,
50?
like when he's like too old to reasonably fight.
No, I think Oh, I think in the video it was like.
This is a bit of a dumb question though, because you would just pick the oldest, because it would be the easiest and you'll get the most money.
Right. So what I
I
could
think
go with.
it's between 0 and like 25.
Oh, alright. I'm probably gonna go with like 6.
So you would beat up a 6-year-old on TV.
For
Live.
$6 million, yeah.
Fair.
Without question. I'm assuming the child has signed a waiver. And
Oh yeah, obviously he's in on it.
I'm
But
not-
you're still, regardless, you're still beating up. Whether someone has consented to it doesn't take away from the morality of beating up a child.
You know what, right? If you've signed a waiver and your parents have okayed it, and you have had I'm assuming months to like back out of this, or the parents have had months to back out of this. At that point, it's not my fault; it's the parents' fault. Okay, like I am not responsible for what I do to the child. It's this is.
Anyone else, please?
Are we
Anyone?
talking? We're saying fighting, so it's not like you're
Okay,
gonna
it's a
win.
fucking fight. No, you've got to win the money.
Well, surely then I just pick like because this is like 10,000 IQ game. You bet against yourself losing, right? You get one of your mates to do it.
Yeah, but which one of your mates
That's
has
illegal.
millions of dollars?
I don't know. Oh, sad.
Honestly, I'll just fight a 6-year-old, Zach. Not Zach, Jay. It's logically the best thing you can do.
Yeah, but I'm not fighting a 6-year-old on like live television. That's it's not a vibe I like to give off.
Yeah. Thing is, Eddie forgets that people have moral compasses.
No, I have a moral compass. I just choose to ignore it.
No, because the thing is, you don't see anything wrong with fighting a 6-year-old on TV if the 6-year-old consents to it.
No, I see something wrong with it. But like, let's think about this, right? Being known as the guy that beat up a 6-year-old, $6 million.
Alright, what about Reese? You're the boxer in the call. You probably stand more of a chance in the later ages.
I won't lie, Mike Tyson is one of the greats. No one could beat him. Even Muhammad Ali, whilst being humble, said that he was the best. Although also Mike Tyson said Muhammad Ali is the best. Like
Pete, he's up there. But the thing, so where would you?
He won the
Yeah, but you
world
could
championship at 20.
as a 20-year-old boxer, Reese, you could beat an 11-year-old Mike Tyson who's never done boxing.
Or a
before.
6-year-old Mike Tyson.
I'm gonna say like 8 years old whilst he's still small or something. Because you never said that you have to knock him out. You just said you had to fight him. So I can.
You have to win. You have to win the fight.
Yeah, I can just move around the ring and just like do some nice little jabs.
Yeah.
And just win on.
Yeah, but
basically,
he's still going for it. He's still running at you. You
Yeah,
can't just like.
that's fine. A little 8-year-old, I can move around that and just like do some nice gentle jabs. So I won't look like a
Reese, your
dickhead.
stamina's not that good.
I might look like a dickhead for winning, but I'm not knocking him out. So I at least got that going for me, and I get the like $8 million. So
see, me and Reese are in the same boat here. You know, like.
Well, no, Eddie, you wanted to knock him out, you fucking psycho.
Whoever said I wanted to knock him out? I wanted the $6 million.
Yes, but Eddie, you're not exactly going to be bouncing around the ring doing some nice gentle jabs, are you?
For $6 million, I can buy a whole new fucking life. I don't care about this fucking child. Right?
Exactly, that's my point. You wanted to knock him out.
You know what, yeah, publicly, on air, you can quote me on this, I would knock out a 6-year-old for $6 million, alright?
Any offers in the chat?
Oh, someone quote that, sorry.
Jay's work for not being in the podcast this week is going to be trying to make more TikTok. To be fair, the TikToks page is actually fucking banging so far.
We haven't
We've got some good clips on
at
there.
all. But firstly, before I quickly say this, have you seen the TikTok where they're like having a go at Ryan for not being a 90s?
Oh, that's my favourite one.
And Ryan just goes, "Yeah, but you're dumb." And
No. And he's like, imagine not being born in a year that starts with 19. And I said, yeah, well, imagine being fucking dumb. And that was it. That was my response.
Everyone in the comments is like, he's got a point there, lads. He's got a point.
Yeah, there's actually a couple comments, and they're all like, "Oh, he's done you there."
I mean, he has a point. He has a point.
But talking about Jay, to give people context, because we haven't actually said why he's not here. He's just really ill.
He's in the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
mud today.
Yeah.
All the best to him to get better for next week.
Alright, so Jack, we got like 5-10 minutes, depending on whatever you got to say. Hit us with your worst, mate. Go.
With my
The floor is yours.
the floor is mine.
Go.
Well, I'm just gonna say, when you can, go get your COVID vaccines. There's no reason to not accept it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Like anyone who's like, oh, I don't want to put that shit in my body. I don't know what it is. I just like the thing is, I've seen people. I don't want to. I'm not going to out people, and I'm not going to out too much what's happening. But I've seen people put way worse shit in their bodies who are now being like, oh, I don't want to do the
Eddie.
Do not
and it's
discuss
just like-
politics on this podcast.
What do you mean? It's not politics. It's just putting. It's
just
doing
facts.
the vaccines. It's
Have
just
the vaccine.
facts. Yeah, I've had mine. You know, well, first dose anyway.
I haven't been offered, but if I would had, I would
Yeah.
have had it.
Exactly. It's just because like this. There you go.
The
that's
sooner
what-
everyone gets vaccinated, the sooner we can
Exactly.
get back to normal.
back to normal. There we
Right,
go.
Jack, Billy,
And-
that's
and we can go back to
absolutely
putting
destroy
some-
us.
Absolutely.
Right, and Jack, you knew you were coming on this podcast for about a week now, right?
Yeah.
There must have been. Has there been a moment where during the week you thought to yourself, "Oh my god, this would be a good thing to mention on the podcast. This is your time." It's like, oh, I really. This would be
Eric,
funny
that
to
face
call
scares
Eddie
me.
out.
Oh, now I'm on the spot. Now I'm just like,
Yeah.
just got on
I
doing
feel
it.
like, so you know how the Happy Hour podcast they do like they ask all their guests for like what their meal deal is, right? I feel like we need something like that where every time we get a guest on, we have to ask.
Death row meal. Death row meal.
I feel like go to drinks on a night out when to get sloshed. Like, what's your plan of action?
Oh,
So-
there's a right. So I'm quite a fan of vodka orange juices, right?
My guy.
So two funny stories about this. I've got quite a quiet voice, so I can't really shout that loudly. Reese was on the bar one night, and I was like a double shot, and vodka and orange juice, and he takes this as two of them. So he just hands me two double vodka orange juices, and I'm like, okay, cool.
No, you're double poked. You got a down one.
I mean, to be fair, that night I was like, really, really like just not with
Right.
it. Yeah,
Spider.
indeed, vibing is the word. And then another night, I just like that. Literally, I was like, I had straws as well, so I was like, I went to and then there was another night, right, where I, just go to the loo, as you do, and
Wait, is this in the flat or on a night out?
in the flat. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So we're praying for a night out, and I go to the bathroom, and then I come back, and my glass is like ever so slightly more full, and I'm like, hang on, my glass wasn't full when I came here. Not thinking about it, just kept drinking, and I'm like, oh, okay. So when I actually get when I get to, I think it's karaoke we're preparing, and
Sorry, just carry.
that's karaoke.
Karaoke is like my will to live is in karaoke, and don't comment on the fact that karaoke hasn't happened in a year.
And I was just really, really gone at that point, and I was really confused why, because I was like, I had not had that much to drink. I later realised that either Ed or Reese had added like a shot or two of vodka into my drink, and clearly I just couldn't taste it.
I'm sorry,
Which
Jack,
not-
but if then adding a shot or two of vodka to your drink made the difference in your alcohol levels in your system, I don't think Eddie and Reese are to blame for that.
We're such
Oh no,
good
no, I'm a
We're
lightweight.
such
I
good
put my
friends.
hands up. I'm a lightweight, to be fair. So like that, them doing that just made me like. Gone.
So if you're planning to get sloshed, your single plan of attack is vodka orange, like double vodka oranges.
Yeah, because I'm just like that much of a lightweight that like spirits just go straight through me, and I'm just like ready to go. Easy peasy, innit?
All right. Well, we've asked you quite a lot of questions. Before we end this off, do you have any questions for all of us or any particular of us on the podcast there to end it off, to send us away?
What?
Just anything. Just
Anything.
Just a good conversation starter. I don't know. You do you, boo.
Cheers, man.
That was so wholesome. Cheers, man. Cheers.
No, it's I mean, I'd like to ask Ed where's the handcuffs at the moment?
I'm
That's
so
all
glad
right.
that's where you went with that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. I think my ex might have stolen them.
For the best. It's for the best.
Right.
Just,
Well,
do they have the key?
I hope not. I kind of hope they're
that would
just
be the
traps.
funniest phone call. Eddie just gets. Wait, are they legit ones or are they like?
They're
ones?
legit. Police
So they're like,
handcuffs.
there's like only one. There's like only that key that will open it.
Oh no, police handcuffs have a universal key.
Yeah. Okay. So they're like. Okay. I thought they were like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what I will say is that they're a bitch to get off if you don't have the key, because you know the handcuffs, like, there's subtle differences between the keys and the handcuffs get used to the keys. So when you shove in a new key, it's like it takes a while for it to give. So I just, you know what, I hate my ex, so I've got this beautiful image of her just trapped to a bed, desperately trying to get these fucking handcuffs off, like going, shouldn't have fucking stolen them. I shouldn't have fucking stolen. Oh god, beautiful
That
images.
phone call you get, Eddie. Can you drive like 3 hours to give me the handcuffs, the keys to the handcuff?
Bro,
Well,
she's in
on that
China.
note-
She's in China.
Well, that would be.
Ooh.
Well,
Oh,
Jack, I have to say it's been a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, how's
Thank you very much. And Eddie, would you like to sign us off?
Yeah, well, mate, that was the podcast, guys. I'm Ed, that's Ryan, that's Jay, and that's Jack. And just remember, if she's from 2 floors below you, she is not the one. Any of them, any of the girls in that flat, not the one. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Cheers, bye.
Cheers, bye.
Thank you so much for coming on, Jack. You fucking
No
legend.
Thank you.
Sexy legend.
Yeah. But no,
First podcast guest. Gang.
First podcast guest. When we become super famous, you're gonna be like, you're gonna have been the OG. You're gonna have been there from the start.
When we actually-
on again.
When we actually
We're
have an
getting
official
on
studio,
one
you know.
after we get Eddie's mom on.
I was my other thing was like, okay, so what, like, because I remember in like one of the first episodes, because I've been like trying to like catch up with them. Like you were like, oh, on the 7th episode we should mention like Madeleine McCann's disappearance.
Oh wait, was that last week?
No, it was so it was like one of the first episodes, like literally. The
Yeah,
first
but was that
segment.
was episode 7 last week?
Yeah, episode 7 was
I
last
was
week,
really fucking forgot.
and I saw it. I was like, oh no.
Oh,
No.
would you have been down for that?
Jack, that's
What?
what you should ask.
Discussing, but no, I'll ask it next time.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Okay.
We have some conspiracy theories lined up for a potential podcast.
One of our first
for a potential
guests.
thing.
What the conspiracy?